The spring is here. So is my top 10 springs list for men, guys. And I have some really great choices for you that will have you smelling like a million this spring.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
So chill out, let's get into it. What's going on YouTube? I'm that cologne guy E, and this is SimplyPut Scents. What's going on, guys? So spring is here, and this is the season where you break out your florals, your herbal scents, your vetiver fragrances, mossy or grassy fragrances, your fig fragrances, your tea fragrances, your freshwater aquatic scents. These are the type of scents best suited for this season, the spring. As always, you can wear what you want when you want, but you know, just like it makes sense to wear certain clothes during certain seasons, the same logic applies to your fragrances. You are more likely to smell attractive when you wear fragrances during the moments they're best suited for. I put a lot of thought into these fragrances, and any one of these fragrances could be your number one, depending on your taste. I mean, seriously, seriously. Okay, so my first honorable mention, Coach for Men Platinum. Now, this is a very synthetic, trendy scent. It's very pleasant though, and it really does a great job as a spring nighttime fragrance or a party fragrance. It has average performance, but honestly, if this was Beachly, it would be a train wreck. This fragrance is for those guys who have playful, extroverted energy. It's more of a jeans and t-shirt fragrance than a chinos and Oxford scent, you know what I mean? I would describe this fragrance as fruity shower gel. Ness. Now, this is another scent that I talked a lot about when my channel first started, but to be honest, I still love this scent. Some people complain about the performance of it, but even if it only lasted 4 hours on my skin, I would still love this fragrance because in my opinion, scent matters more than performance. And this is such a beautiful masculine floral of a great quality that it's definitely worth wearing even if it lasted for 4 hours. I mean, that's just my opinion. Some people say it smells like Chanel Allure Homme Sport, and I can see that comparison for sure, but to me this smells a lot better. And it also smells a lot more natural. I would describe this fragrance as inexpensive niche floral. From the house of Mugler, Fly Away. Now, Fly Away is part of Mugler's new Mugler Cologne collection. I did a video about this collection last year, and Fly Away to me was the standout. It's a very simple composition of hemp and grapefruit. That's practically it. The grapefruit isn't of the juicy variety that I find most appealing. You know, it's also kind of tart, but it's still very nice, and it helps to brighten up this scent because that hemp is real persistent. If you spray it on your collars, you will get a nice longevity of this fragrance. I would describe this fragrance as fresh cannabis candle. It definitely does smell like a cannabis candle, I cannot lie, but that's not a bad thing in my opinion. It smells really nice. But oddly enough, not like cannabis. Go figure. From the house of Issey Miyake, Bleue, Dsquared. Well, 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 looky, looky.
Looky, look!
Look who made it back on one of my spring lists. Bleue Dsquared Homme is without question my favorite fragrance from the Dsquared Homme line. It's not the most appealing scent out of that collection, but it's one of the most unique fragrances from a designer house made over the last 15 years. And this scent was made in 2004, and it really doesn't smell dated. If anything, it smells kind of niche when you compare it next to all the fragrances that are coming out now.
I'm not listening to you, you're crazy.
It's a beast by modern standards that lasts at least 8 to 9 hours on me. And I feel like even though it's in a blue bottle, it's definitely green. I mean, it's green as hell. And it's really suited for people who like to smell unique. Bleue is the coolest weirdo in the room for sure, whenever it's worn. I would describe this fragrance as pond in the woods. From the house of Banana Republic, Vintage Green. This scent, Pure White and Oud Mosaic were the standouts in my opinion from the original Icon line by Banana Republic. This is definitely one of my top fig fragrances from a designer brand at the moment. Typically, if you want a decent fig, you really have to spend niche prices, but Banana Republic offered this really beautiful fig scent for under $50 for a 2.7 ounce bottle. It really also has a really nice tea note, and I love the way tea and fig smell as spring fragrance options. It kills in the spring. Those two styles of scents, awesome. Fig and tea, guys. It's not a scent that's gonna blow up the room, but you definitely get a solid 5 to 6 hours of performance with moderate to minimal sillage over the life of the scent. And in 3 words, I would describe it as clean, green, and fresh. From the house of Lalique, Uncut, Noir, Sport. This is a less serious version of the fragrance community legend, Encre Noir. This version of that scent is a lot more citrusy and a lot less stuffy. Encre Noir smells like black ink. The sporty version is a lot more fresh. This is also a lot more versatile than the original since you could dress this down. It lasts a long time on skin if that matters to you, and in 3 words, I would describe this fragrance as black ink and lemonade. From the house of Dsquared, Rocky Mountain Wood. Now this fragrance is a really nice masculine woody scent with the dewy mountain air vibe. It's rarely talked about anymore on YouTube, but I find it to be another decade or older fragrance that is aged very well. It's another fragrance that's hard to associate with a fragrance era or trend, so it doesn't smell dated. It has great longevity and it works great for work. This is a great spring work fragrance for men who like woody scents or scents with a nice spicy note in them, or pepper. I would describe this fragrance as spicy, airy woods. From the house of Rasasi, Hawas. If you're looking to own one scent this spring and you want something with some really nice strength, then you must consider Hawas. This could easily be your jack of all trades scent. It's forever appropriate. To me, it shines best in the spring where it can get cool enough to demand a stronger fragrance like this. You can easily control the intensity with the number of sprays you use. Typically, I spray 3 times into my t-shirt and I'm set. It comes across like a green aquatic with the use of bergamot, green apple, and patchouli. I'm a huge fan of this fragrance. It's arguably better than a lot of fragrances that are compared to it. Rarely do you think of Middle Eastern fragrances and freshies, and man, is this an amazing example of a Middle Eastern freshie. I would describe this fragrance as green, versatile, aquatic. From the house of Parfum Vintage, Imbue. Now lately, I've been steering clear of clone houses. Way too much drama, guys.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But Parfum Vintage came out of left field with a beautiful, more potent remake of a now discontinued scent that was always extremely weak. So just when I thought I closed the door to clone houses, Parfum Vintage went and screwed that all up.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
This fragrance smells a lot like Gucci Pour Homme, which is no longer on the market, so I don't really feel that conflicted discussing it. It's a tea fragrance that smells so realistic you can almost taste it. Regardless of what it's compared to, Imbue is just damn good at recreating a cup of good tea. I like Gucci Pour Homme, but this smells so much better for my taste and it lasts a lot longer and it's just so realistic. I just would take this any day and I would describe it as herbal natural tea. The next scent is a spring staple in my rotation and a designer masterpiece in my opinion. From the house of Narciso Rodriguez, For Him. For Him, guys, that gloomy, emo, gray For Him. Now this fragrance was made by Francis Kurjan and it smells like perfumed wet concrete. I know that doesn't sound that great, but this scent is a man's scent that is closer to a niche fragrance than a mainstream designer by modern standards. It's a conceptual scent and it's one of the best ever made by a designer company, period. This fragrance, in my opinion, is an accomplishment among designer fragrances, and it will always be talked up by me, whether it's liked by a million people or not. And it's probably not, because a million people probably doesn't even know it exists. You would probably expect 30 notes to make up this fragrance, but there's only 4 notes in the scent. It's masculine, it lasts all day, and it's really versatile for a fragrance that's not anywhere near the mainstream. When the sky looks like the bottle, that's when I wear it. The 3 words that I would use for this fragrance: gray, musky, cement. From the house of Natura, Brazil, Jacaranda. So this is a hidden gem from an unexpected source, guys. Natura Brazil is a brand I stumbled on by accident. I mean, I was just walking down a Manhattan street, saw the store, and checked out these fragrances inside. Natura Brazil released 5 original fragrances in eau de parfum concentration for about $95. Some lean feminine, some lean masculine. Jacaranda was one of those masculine fragrances that was a highlight for me. It's meant to smell like the Jacaranda trees that grow in Brazil, and it also incorporates rose and grapefruit. It's a very unique scent for a freshie. It's green, slightly spicy, slightly soapy, and very natural smelling. If there were any pleasant surprises for me in 2018, Jacaranda had to be one of the main ones. I would describe this fragrance as forest green clean.
Final.
And guys, my #1 fragrance, I'm really thankful for you guys getting down this list with me. This fragrance, #1 for the 2nd straight year in a row, from the house of Carven, Carven Low Intense. This right here, guys. This right here. Francis Kurkdjian made this scent, and it has this signature style all in it. You know, especially when it comes to how he does freshies with the use of citruses. This scent starts off very sweet, but it definitely calms down. This fragrance kind of reminds me of a fresh, playful version of Silver Mountain Water by Creed. It's a lot less stuffy, but they share a watery, dewy smell. Now, I could argue that there are better options in terms of quality fragrances on this list other than this that could have been #1. But this fragrance is a really great complement of elements that I look for in a spring fragrance. It's distinctive, it's easy to wear, it has really nice longevity, decent quality, and it's appealing to be around and smell. Bottom line. And bonus, it doesn't smell like a shower gel, or it doesn't smell cheap whatsoever. Carven Low Intense in 3 words: citrusy, modern, mint. So guys, that was my spring list. I hope you found a couple of these fragrances decent. I'm really interested in knowing what you thought of the list, and what fragrances are you wearing this spring. Please let me know in the comment section. I really wanted to find fragrances that I could share with you guys that I feel like could fit a multitude of different personalities and styles. So you have your fragrances that are a little more professional, some that are a little bit more fun and playful, some that are definitely more interesting and unique. So I wanted to share something for everyone, and hopefully you guys found some that piqued your interest. But yeah, let me know what you're wearing this spring. I'm really curious to know, guys. Comment down below, like this video if you think it deserved it, and of course subscribe to Simply Put Scents if you haven't. I would of course definitely appreciate your support, my friends. And thank you so much again. I'm E, and this is Simply Put Scents, and I'm simply OUT. Peace.
And you know what else? Screw you guys. I'm going home. Screw you guys. Home.